If you spend much or any time online looking at workout stuff, you might have seen the term BRIG20 and thought, what the hell is that? Does that actually work for building muscle? Is that something I should consider? I don't know, but let's talk about it. Hey everybody, just me again, Wayne. Thank you so much for choosing this video from the millions that you could have selected.
Thank you!
I hope you like it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, make a comment, share, and all that good stuff. And first, the standard medical disclaimer. Before you start on any physical improvement program, you probably ought to check with your physician. So, the BRIG20. We've really got three questions here. What is it? Does it work? And should I, or should you, incorporate it in whole or in part into your own program? Regarding that last question, well, obviously I can't tell you what to do, nor do I want to, and I don't know what your needs or wants are in your workout program. But that's why we're doing this, and hopefully quite a few future videos to help you make up your own mind. Now in this video, we're going to answer the first question. What is the BRIG20? And we're just going to list the exercises, and I'll tell you why I am interested. Some demonstrations of BRIG20 stuff, at least the exercises that I'm going to use or plan to use, will come in some future videos, starting next week if all goes according to plan. And that second question, does the BRIG20 work? Is it effective at building muscle? Obviously that's the big one. Simply put, the BRIG20 is a list of 20-ish exercises compiled by the late Doug Brignole that Doug asserts in his book, The Physics of Fitness, retitled for some reason The Physics of Resistance Exercise, and in his programs and videos, that Doug asserts these exercises are the most effective for building muscle. And he bases this conclusion on a bunch of considerations, including active and neutral levers, peripheral muscle recruitment, resistance curves, and all that sort of thing that goes into the very complex system that involves our using our muscles and building muscle. And for Doug, the BRIG20 worked. Doug was already a champion amateur bodybuilder. In the early 80s, he won the AAU Mr. America and Mr. Universe titles, and he picked up a good handful of other titles in the ensuing decades. And in 2019, at age 59, using the BRIG20 as his program, Doug won the AAU Natural Mr. Universe title, not just in the Masters division, but overall, competing against guys not just in their 50s, but their 40s, their 30s, and their 20s. So, for him, for Doug, he clearly was doing something right. But what are those things? What are the things he did right? What are the exercises in the BRIG20? Well, here they are. For chest, the decline dumbbell press. One arm cable lat pull-in for the lats. For your middle traps there, the cable scapular retraction. Standing calf raise for, obviously, the calves. For the glutes, Doug recommends the multi-hip machine, which you probably don't have access to. I've never even seen one. But that is why in his book and so forth, Doug does include alternative exercises that you can use if you don't have access to the equipment or for some reason just cannot do the exercises that he recommends. For the lateral delts, the cable side raise using wrist straps. For the posterior delts, the cross cable pull. And for the anterior delts, the seated front cable press, palms up. Biceps and triceps, alternating one arm cable curl for the biceps. For the triceps, the two arm push down with the pulley behind and above so that your triceps are parallel with the line of resistance. For the quads, the deep knee Brignole pendulum squat. Yeah, I'd never heard of that either until I heard Doug say it. And that is one of the exercises that I will be demoing for you in a future video. Cable shrug for the upper traps. For the hamstrings, the seated cable leg curl, or if you have access to a good seated leg curl machine, that'll do too. And by good, I mean one that has the pulley right here where your knee is so that the machine bends where your leg bends. Hip flexors, the multi-hip machine again. You just pushing in the opposite direction. Seated cable crunch for the abs, the seated torso/back extension for the lower back, and for forearms, dumbbell wrist curls and then dumbbell reverse wrist curls. Cable torso rotation for the external obliques. And for the infraspinatus, think of it as sort of connected to the rotator cuff, lying external dumbbell rotation. For the transverse abdominis, the lying abdominal vacuum. And for the neck, the lying neck curl and then the reverse lying neck curl. So those are the exercises that comprise the BRIG20. And I'll tell you, I knew Doug, albeit not for nearly long enough. I liked him and I respected him. And in this video description, you will find a link to the True Bodybuilding program at Smart Training 365 and a coupon code, Wayne, that's me, Wayne, for $100 off that program. If you buy that program through that link using that coupon code, I do get a little bit. And there are links to other Smart Training 365 programs there too, albeit without coupon codes. And there, Smart Training 365 is the place to go if you want to buy the real deal and get more detailed instruction and better demonstrations than I can give you here. But to sell you or sell you on any program is not what I am concerned with, and I haven't really buckled down on Doug's methods enough to know whether they work as well for me as they worked for him anyway. And I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not certified through Smart Training 365 or anything like that. Rather, I'm doing this video and what I hope will become a series to see if I can use the BRIG20 exercises effectively. For two reasons. First, I want to enter another classic physique contest. I was in one in October of 2021 and I enjoyed the experience. I want to do it again. So as I make this video, I am eyeing some contests that are about 5 to 7 months down the space-time continuum. And in those 5 to 7 months, if I want to make one of those contests, I have a substantial amount of muscle to gain and about 10% body fat to lose. As we can see, I have got a long way to go.
You ain't kidding.
I am not in remotely the shape I was in before my first contest, so I want to see if the BRIG20 can help me get there. Second reason I'm doing these videos. If it works for me, maybe this stuff can work for you. And that's what I'm really truly interested in. And I know Doug didn't intend for his stuff to be used only by people who wanted to compete in muscle contests. Rather, Doug wanted his stuff to be used, just as I want my videos to help, if possible, anybody. Whether you just want to, look a little better, put on a little bit of extra muscle, maybe lose a few pounds, just feel better, or you want to compete in a contest. Whatever it is, this is material for anyone. So I'd like you to come on this journey with me.
So it begins.
And keep in mind, I'm not using only or all of the BRIG20 program. I'm only using or plan to use about half the exercises, the BRIG11 or the BRIG12 maybe. But there's enough BRIG in there that it should make a difference, whether positive or negative, in how things go. I'm paraphrasing Mo from Smart Training 365, and Mo is the guy who's essentially carrying on Doug's legacy. Seldom can anybody take a program, whether it's the BRIG20 or anything else, and just adopt it. Whole hog, so to speak. Take it just as it's written and do that, and it works out for them. That almost never happens. Rather, you find what works for you in whatever that program is. That doesn't mean just pick and choose whatever looks good. It means you see a program or you find a program or, a training style or whatever that you think, hey, that might work for me. And then you try it out. You try it out for long enough to see what does work. And then you take what does work and you combine that with the other stuff that you know works for you. And that is how you find a workout plan, a whatever, that suits your needs and helps you make the progress you want to make. And if you can get something from these videos I'm making that helps you get to that point, great. That is the point. So in future videos in this series, I will demonstrate one, maybe sometimes two, of the BRIG20 exercises, the BRIGs, I guess, that I use. And together, we'll see how it's going. As my own competition season, so to speak, gets closer, we'll find out if I need to swap out some of those BRIGs maybe drop a few, maybe add some more, or just keep things exactly the same. Which almost certainly won't happen because that's how life goes, right? And again, a disclaimer, I'm not certified through Smart Training or anything like that. Now, what I have done is I've studied Doug's book pretty closely, and I have studied the videos of Doug's own personal workouts, which he did, with the BRIG20. And I communicated with Doug. Doug and I had quite a few conversations, both in real time and through correspondence, about his methods, about the exercises, and about how I was doing them. Now, as this video series goes along, I really want to hear from you, whether you like the BRIG20, whether you don't, whether you agree, whether you disagree. Doesn't matter. I want to hear from you because what I really want is to turn this into a conversation, a dialogue, not just about the BRIG20, but about natural bodybuilding, natural strength training in general, whether it is for competition or just for personal health, personal happiness. And especially if you have a question, please ask it. Because I guarantee you, if you have a question, I guarantee that multiple others, somebody else, have that same question. And if nobody asks it, then the rest of us won't know that anybody's wondering about it, so we won't know to provide an answer. And sometimes I won't be able to provide an answer. And if I can't, I'll be straight with you. I'll say, I don't know. Great question. Let's figure it out if we can. In the next video in this series, hopefully coming 7 days after I release this one, we'll see how my first week of serious training has gone. I will tell you how I have worked some of the BRIG20 into my own workout routine, what that looks like, and I'll demo a BRIG or two. That is what I have got this week. Hey, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, leave a comment. You're awesome. I'll talk to you next week.